What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and I had a request to talk about uninterruptible 3PG and 5PG skills. You know, which characters have these skills? Why are they useful? And the first character that I would talk about that has this is Mai. And Mai's actually pretty unique amongst the rest of them because she actually has two uninterruptible PG skills. Her 3PG that you actually get from the... this 3PG right here that you actually get from the SS banner, and her 5PG here that's always available in the game is actually uninterruptible. And let me show you what I'm talking about. So we'll just slap a card set on this girl. So we're going to find me a card set. There we go. We'll just slap the Akane on her. That will be fine. We'll give her her 5PG animation here. Let's give her a little extra damage. We'll throw that option card. Yeah, this option card will really make a difference for her. And then, of course, Rugal's strike skill option card also. By the way, if you have those two option cards, that is the Bomb Diggity for Mai. Now, let me show you what I'm talking about. So, when you go into Guild Raid, Rugal will do an explosion. When he does, he pretty much stuns you and does an insane amount of damage. However, when you have these uninterruptible skills, he can't do it while doing those uninterruptible skills. And we're just going to try to break the meter there. Okay, we're going to try to break the meter. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Now watch. He'll do his little explosion. Now sometimes he does it right away. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. See how he stuns Mai and then he does a big explosion? Well, whenever you do her 5PG or her 3PG or these other PGs that I'm going to talk about, Rugal cannot interrupt it. He can't stop you from doing it, which is pretty awesome because you can actually delay Rugal and actually increase your survivability, especially since a lot of certain imprint stones give you a decreased damage received upon using an awakened skill. That actually really helps. We'll try it again. Now, sometimes Rugal will do his explosion right away. Here we go. By the way, it's just amazing how fast Mai can actually decrease the skill here. Now we do her 5PG. During this 5PG, Rugal will never explode, which is pretty funny actually. I think he's just in utter shock at what he's looking at, and that's why he can't interrupt her. Now the game's kind of making me look bad right now because typically he would explode right away. But take my word for it, during the explosion, he will never explode during your 5PG. So let me show you another run here and show you what I'm talking about. So Rugal himself, BS Rugal with his 3PG, actually has the same thing where his 3PG cannot get interrupted. Whoops. Pretty crazy how fast Mai can actually break that meter. And all I'm doing is wait for Rugal. Now look. He'll explode right after we do this 3PG. He can't explode during the 3PG. Now he will. Boom. See? And Mai's 5PG and her 3PG act in the same way, where Rugal cannot explode during those animations, which is pretty damn cool. So like characters that have, like, say, the decreased damage received stone on them. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can find one. Well, actually, you know what? Let's just click on this. Go to an imprint stone. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So say you have this stone on here, right? This decreased damage received by 20% upon using awakened skill. Well, if you have a character that has this kind of animation where they don't get interrupted, you can do your awakened skill and actually increase your survivability because you're getting the decreased damage received, which is pretty damn cool, right? Now, the SS characters and the BS characters do have a decreased damage received already. I mean, Mai's already got decreased damage received on her third skill. Rugal's got decreased damage received on his third stone. Him and BS Rochi both have a decreased damage received by 30% for 5 seconds when they are attacked on a 15-second cooldown. So they actually got a lot of decreased damage received already. And also what this does is a lot of times whenever I play with Rugal in Guild Raid, I can actually set it up like whenever I would use Rugal with Eileen on the team, right? With Athena and Eileen, I can always set it up to where Guild Raid Rugal will blow up exactly on my Rugal, which means that I can time whenever he's doing that explosion, which actually makes Guild Raid a whole lot easier. One of the hard things about Guild Raid is not knowing whenever Guild Raid Rugal is going to do his explosion. And when you have these characters that actually have these 3PG animations or 5PG that can't be interrupted, it actually can help you decide when it's going to explode. So who are the other characters that actually have this capability? Well, make sure that all of them are equipped here. There we go. So the first one is Rugal, and it is his 3PG card. And I might miss some, guys. Let me know in the comments if I do. This 3PG will never get interrupted. Mai's 5PG and her 3PG, so this 5PG again, which is pretty awesome considering this is always in the game. That thing will never get interrupted. And then her 3PG also here will never get interrupted, which is awesome. But it isn't just SS and BS characters that have this capability. Actually, if I can find them here real quick, Iori here, Iori's 5PG skill, this skill here, can never be interrupted, which is why a lot of people would use him. So that decreased damage received stone that I showed you, that's why having an awakened skill that doesn't get interrupted, or not awakened skill, but having a 5PG or 3PG that doesn't get interrupted, why a stone like this would be so important for a character like Iori, because every time that I do my awakened skill, I'll get the decreased damage received by 20%. So immediately after you use your 5BG, and knowing that more than likely Rugal will probably do his explosion on Iori a lot of times, you can go ahead and use his awakened skill afterwards and get it. Now, it doesn't always work that way. Sometimes you got to use your awakened skill before you do your 5PG to build up the PG meter, so that way you can do the 5PG, but it definitely helps. I mean, when I put that stone on Iori back in the day when I was using him all the time, that really made a difference. And the fact that he has a 5PG that doesn't get interrupted is pretty awesome for the guy. Another one is, let me see if I can find him real quick here. Let's just do this little number right here. This will be a lot easier. There we go. Is K. K's 5PG, well, that's his 3PG. K's 5PG actually won't get interrupted. Now, this is something I haven't tested. This is the feedback that I've actually gotten from Discord, from other players. This is what they've let me know, and I tend to believe them because they know a lot about the game. And so that's pretty damn awesome. So, and a good thing about this is K's a burn character. So whenever you're playing in hard mode in Guild Raid, whenever you're doing this 5PG, you don't have to worry about getting interrupted, which is massive. Another character is Athena. Athena, unfortunately, just her 3PG that you get from the SS banner is the only one that can't be interrupted, which is pretty freaking massive. And this is actually really massive for her because, one, before Guild Raid Rugal will explode, you do your 3PG, well, you got this heal. So you're going to get a heal. And this is one of the reasons why Athena is the meta for Guild Raid on Lunatic. You know, having the Starlight and the fact that she's a defensive character, she just has so much survivability, especially if you have that 3PG. And even her other 3PGs that are in the game, you can use, but they don't have that uninterruptible PG skill, which is a bit of a bummer. So because she has the skill that doesn't get interrupted, you're going to get your recovery. You're going to get your heal on top of that, which is pretty damn awesome. It means you can actually use different strikers, attack strikers if you really want, which is pretty cool. And, you know, and I also remember that the Rock is another one. Rock's 3PG will not get interrupted. I used to play him all the time in Guild Raid also, and once his 3PG starts, it don't get interrupted. It's pretty cool because it's actually a very long skill, and the Rock actually has a great leadership. It's a leadership I used to use religiously in Guild Raid, which is pretty fantastic. So those are the characters that I know about that have uninterruptible 3PGs. Those things are actually massive. I hope to see more of them in the game. And if I missed any, if there's other characters that have uninterruptible 3PG skills, please let me know in the comments down below. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT plus 7 time, Sunday through Thursday. The link will be in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.